Hi, I'm Daniel, and Disney Plus Day was on Thursday the 8th and was moved to September instead of November. It was no longer meant to be an anniversary. Some releases include another mediocre Simpsons short, a mini-series based on cars that I can't bother to even watch, and the main event, Pinocchio. It was already a Disney one, but it's in live action, which was also done before. Pinocchio 2022, there's 3 films that could refer to. I don't want to make any assumptions, but it's a bit strange Disney decided to release it a couple months before Netflix, who have been making a stop motion Pinocchio film for years. Will probably be better. The film I'm discussing in this video had little identity, but could it still be good? Disney live action remakes have slowed down in 2010s, but it's nice returning to have multiple films a year, with lots of announcements about upcoming releases. So anyway, does this Pinocchio work? Disney original Pinocchio is one of the best from the studio in my opinion. It has a darker tone, interesting message, and a good blend of old movie things. While the film could be argued as slow pace, it is atmospheric and isn't that young for modern standards. Remake adapts the story by being even younger, and the slow pace doesn't work. It is taking so much time for something to happen, and the pacing is all over the place. The original felt like 3 separate set pieces with different things and conflicts. It tries to make it the end of the one story, but it makes it even worse. Right after Pinocchio escapes from Boli, he is sent to Pleasure Island, which is not natural progression. Also, only gets sent there by accident. There's your coincidences used to get characters into and especially out of problems, which is a very forced way of writing, and even with the dragging out, the ending is still rushed because it tries to be ambiguous, but it fails. There's your plot with weak resolutions, and despite being younger, this movie does so much yes. Despite what live action presented to be, is toned down and aimed for a younger audience. It needs to explain everything with no subtlety, with dark elements hidden or altered. Donkey Transformations is nothing compared to the original. It cuts out the scene without being deported and going out to slavery. It was meant to be human greed as a dark part, but now there's also shadow things there. One question, why? Putting the blame on humans too complex, it made me think I might have been too mean to the original Yorak special. At least the faces once you assemble a person unlike that. There's a large amount of dumb decisions in the movie and edits that get in the way of the message, like what happened to Stromboli. So I will complain about, but I found the editing funny, not because of a joke, just how we presented the cutaway was. Many of the classic scenes are there, but missed the point. In both Disney films, the nose growing only lasts one scene, but the remake makes it so worse. Youth Fairy not appearing in the scene makes it missing an importance to the story. Speaking of the Youth Fairy, she no longer has a mysterious presence. The conversation between her, Pinocchio, and Jimmy Cricket, yes, so young it does that effect. Sometimes having yes is more. This changes the order of events in a vastly worse way. Music has some old songs to mix quality. I don't like the cover I Got No Strings for being very auto-tuned. New songs are forgettable, especially one about peer pressure being unsubtle. I was just thinking, wow, the Matilda music adaptation looks good. On a side note, it actually does by the trailer. This movie's music and sets are more like a stage show, but that seems mean on theatre. That usually is creative what it has, while this is just lazy. That leads on to the visuals. Unlike most of the other action remakes, this for some reason looks cheap. To start with the designs, it look half like a real cricket, but also tries to mimic the old design when it should pick one. As it is, the young hair on this most recognizable character looks weird. Goku's design is very similar, and in still image it looks fine, but in movement it looks off and is way too small compared to the humans. The way it's edited together is really unnatural, as if it was green screened in poorly. The sets are also generic and look like just some town. Yes, Island looked more grand, but that scene is pulled down by lack of subtlety. It originally had a more creepy tone to it, now it's just the worst remake. As for the characters, Pinocchio's character seems the same, with a change in the story trying to make him less flawed. He gets into Jimmy and tries to go to school, but is kicked out and only then tries acting because what else is he supposed to do? It was also peer pressure to go to Pleasure Island. None of really his choice. He barely has an arc and something to overcome that the ending doesn't have the same impact. The original character was so great for being a realistic child who was likable. Most not to be found a new voice in terms of fitting him. Jiminy Cricket used to be more of a quiet mascot in the original, with a nice peaceful act. Here he need to make himself aware and a narrator. The movie starts with fourth wall jokes that is trying too hard but failing. In terms of new characters, there's a seagull has little point here. There's also a human girl who pretends to act like a puppet with a forced arc. Expected to take up more time over just the first scene before the climax. On the other hand, I kind of prefer this where it appears. The additions to the story are weak and kind of pointless. In old, Geppetto is fine but nothing new. If I had to say something like about this, it's Honest John. I'm still being animals is a weird choice, but he is funny with new dialogue there. He also kept in the songline and acted as if he's gay. I thought Disney might cut that out since the word has a new meaning. Aside from maybe that, Pinocchio 2022, the Disney film, is bad. Some ironic qualities to Jaffa, but it's not worth ironic enjoyment. It looks to be a film that ended up being dumped on Disney Plus because he didn't want it. And it shouldn't be like that, because that's the better East way in my opinion. Still dislike the notion that it's an inferior East way. Conclusion, I give Pinocchio 2.5 out of 10 and would not recommend. It is a very low rating for me and it's not worth watching. I can't say it's strongly enough because its incompetence is funny occasionally. It also goes on a yacht. This was a bad choice to start the new era of initial impressions. I just made a top 3 best and worst list and it's already a new worst spot. This was a completely negative review from me, but there's more positive things to discuss next, so consider pressing the subscribe button. The end.